Hello everyone, this is lab 1, how to install Kali Linux on VirtualBox in the course ITDR2108, Introduction to Security. The objective of this lab is to install a Kali Linux in a virtualized domain, virtualized environment. In virtualization we use VirtualBox or VMware or other software. This time we will use a VirtualBox from Oracle. So we need to download an image of Kali Linux and to download VirtualBox. I have already downloaded this for you. You will just go to VirtualBox, you type here VirtualBox from Oracle, you go to download page. If you are using Windows, you will go to Windows hosts. If you are using Mac, here. If you are using Linux, here. So I'm using Windows. I will install VirtualBox 6. It's running, but because I have already installed it, I will not download it. Okay, I have already downloaded this file. And then we will download this one. Okay, so I have downloaded the file. It's here, and I have installed this this software, the whole VirtualBox. After installation, you will have a shortcut named Oracle VM VirtualBox. You click twice, you will see this window. Okay. Second thing, you need a Kali image. You go to kali.org and you download an image of Kali Linux. Kali هي distribution of Linux، يعني operating system، نظام تشغيل اسمه كالي. اوكي، تبع لينكس، نوع من distribution of Linux. نمشي لكالي Linux, go to download. I will see many different image. Okay, what do you need? You need Kali Linux 64-bit. If you have a laptop, a new laptop after 2008, most probably you are with 64-bit processor. If you don't have 64-bit processor, you will need a 32-bit image of Kali. How do you know that? You just go to PC, you go to properties, you see system type. My system type here is 64-bit operating system, 64 basic processor. Okay, so I will need the version of Kali 64-bit. In 64-bit there are 3 versions. فما الانستالر وفما اللايف وفما النت انستالر. You must read about this, but you will install this one. Okay, Kali Linux 64-bit live, it will give you the ability to boot from an USB drive, USB pen. Okay, and to install the by default graphical environment. This one, the installer, is like live, but with more option, and this one, net installer, is with less option. Even you see the size 471 megabyte، أقل كثير من 2 version هذوما. Because it will need the network to download additional package. So better use the live edition of Kali Linux 64-bit. You click on this one and the installation will start. But I have already installed, I have already downloaded this file, so I don't need to download again. I have already downloaded this file, Kali Linux 2020.4 يعني stable خرج في أبريل live edition, and the processor is 64 byte. So I have already downloaded this one, so I don't need to download again. Okay, so I have it all. I have the VirtualBox already installed, and I have the ISO image of Kali Linux 64 byte. Let me come back to the lab. So we will create a new virtual machine, we will create a virtual disk, modifying some VirtualBox setting. You will load the Kali ISO distribution file, and we'll boot from the Kali Linux operating system. Then we'll make some partition if we need, and we finalize the installation, and we run Kali on this VirtualBox. Once you have installed the VirtualBox, you go to new. I have already installed VirtualBox as I told you, so I open the VirtualBox. I go to new, it's here, new. I give a name for my operating system. Okay, I give it a name, مثلا Kali. Where will I put my machine folder? I prefer to put it in my case, do not lost it. The new folder, نسميها Kali drive. نسميها Kali drive. It's not a Microsoft Windows, of course you know that it is Linux. Okay, not Solaris, not BSD, not IBM. Okay, it's a Linux version. Of course you know Kali Linux نوع من distribution تبع Debian, so you need to check for Debian 64 خاطر there are many distribution of Linux. كنت تلاحظ أما Linux 2.2 etc 2.4 Arch Linux, Debian, Fedora, Gentoo, Mandriva, Oracle, Red Hat, Open Source. هذا أنواع من distribution of Linux. خاطر Linux هو open source. بعد عملوا many distribution from that open source Linux. كما Ubuntu أشهر واحدة فيهم هم Ubuntu Kali Linux. Okay. In our case, we will use Debian, of course. Okay, Debian. If you can also, you can check here. You can let it Linux 2.3, but and you fix it later. In my case, I prefer from the beginning. I give him the right distribution. He will fix it later in the lab. Let me show you. See, he has selected the type of the OS as property to be Debian, to be Debian. So I prefer selecting it from the beginning. I type next. Okay, how many gigabyte you wanna use? I prefer use 2 gigabyte because I have a good memory here in my PC. For you, 1 giga it's okay, huh? You see my PC here is 32 gigabyte as internal memory RAM. So there is no problem if I choose a 2 gigabyte, يعني 2000 megabit. 2000 megabit. It's okay, 2000. No? Hard disk. We will create a virtual hard disk now. Okay. We will not use other option. We will use the type of the hard disk is a VirtualBox disk image, abbreviation here VDI. Yes, we will choose as dynamically allocated. يعني the size of the hard disk will grow dynamically to a maximum size. It will not be fixed. It's better to use it dynamically. The by default option, they are good. Please type the name of the new virtual hard disk file into the box below or click on the folder icon to select a different folder to create the file. It's okay. كالي VDI هو الهارد ديسك اللي اخترته. Select the size of the virtual hard disk in megabyte. This size is the limit on the amount of file that a virtual machine will be able to store on the hard disk. يعني 8 gigabyte is low. I will choose 20. Yeah? I think 20 is good for me. 20 gigabyte. Check your hard disk. Check your hard disk. For me, I have C. أنا حطيته في الدي في الكالي دي كالي درايف. My hard disk is have almost 500 gigabytes, so it's okay if I choose 20 or let it 30 in case. So I create. See, it's ready now. The name of the machine هي كالي. النوع متاعها based على Debian. البيز memory 2 جيجا boot order floppy optical وبعدين hard disk يعني البوتينج هذايا device. هذه other virtualization properties. display video memory 16 megabyte graphical controller remote desktop etc. storage أنا اخترت 30 جيجا بايت as a maximum. audio هو نفسه الأوديو متاع Windows. network he has of course a NAT. USB yes it's activated shared folder etc. هذا okay. After this we are here in the you may find a difference between الموجود في اللاب واللي شفتوه توا because of version of the VirtualBox. The version of the VirtualBox they may not be the same يعني. Okay, بعدين you arrived to here. Now step 3, modify VirtualBox setting. So far we've done the following checklist for you. We have already created a new virtual machine. We have created a virtual hard disk. And we have given the disk size and property. Now you will go to settings. Okay, you have to select this one. Oh, in this case, you have many virtual machine. In our case, we have just one. Okay, so it's by default selected. Yani when you click to setting, it's the setting of this virtual machine. Okay, it's it's the setting of this virtual machine. نتبعوا اللاب نشوف setting بعدين he will fix the problem of the type of the OS, but for me I have fixed it from the beginning. Okay, it's fixed. name سميته كالي, type Linux كما كنا فما many types. والفيرشن يعني الديستريبيوشن نتاع كالي لينكس معروفة هي ديبيان، خارجة من ديبيان. كالي لينكس هو الباك تراك، قبل كان يسموه معناها الفيرشن القديمة متاع كالي اسمها باك تراك، وباك تراك هي نوع من ديبيان ديستريبيوشن. كيما في الويندوز فما مايكروسوفت ويندوز ديسكتوب كيما اللي خرج 95 و98 ويندوز اكس بي ويندوز 7، وفما الويندوز سيرفر، فهمتني؟ هذا ما انواع من ديستريبيوشن، فهمتني؟ كيما في ويندوز فما انواع، كيما في لينكس فما انواع يعني اوبريتنج سيستم. باهي الجنرال اوكي. نتبعوا لهنا بالنسبه للفيرجن اوف ذا سيستم اتس اوكي. باهي تمشي directly للستورج، to select the ISO file. okay نمشي directly للستورج. we need to select هنا شفتوا control ID optical drive ولا add hard drive. here controller ID will add هي empty توا. controller ID هي empty, so we need to select. لاحظ لهنا choose create virtual optical disk ولا choose a disk file. احنا we will virtualize operating system هذا الكالي الإيماج to be installed as a virtualized version موجود on top of Windows. okay so we need to look for where I put the image. حطيتها أنا الإيماج حطيتها في تحت الدي سوفتوير، ها هي شفتها السايز نتاعها 3.5 جيجا بايت. اوكي كاي لينكس. كنتبعوا هنا قالك you go to storage controller ID and highlight empty CD icon. Now on your right you should be able to use the little CD icon. It should be CD DVD drive ID secondary master already if not change it, and select your downloaded ISO. okay you select what you have downloaded as a Kali version. okay we look for ISO. نمشي للدي هاي الكالي لينكس ISO فايل. it's an ISO file تحت properties. شوف it's an ISO file معناها image على image of the operating system disk image file اسمها. المهم we select this one and we open it. It will be charged here as a DVD يعني that you will use or a pen stick to from where you will install your version. بعدين yes he correctly checked the size 3.28 جيجا بايت. 3.28 جيجا بايت. okay it's correct. بلس فين موجود اللوكيشن تحت الدي سوفتوير كالي لينكس كذا بالضبط كما عطيتوها. بعدين Important thing to note, size. If your disk size mismatched, you might have a corrupt disk. Refer to Kali download page and CD image page for size related info. You can also do an integrity check. It's not corrupted. It's not corrupted in our case. بعدين you select the network connection. لازم تكون NAT. It's already there. NAT. Okay. Then you can enable more network adapter if you feel like to place around. We just need one adapter. We don't need more. Okay. Just one. You may have USB 2.0 not activated. In my case, I think they are activated. USB controller, they are activated. Okay. Add a USB filter with all fields initially set to empty string. Okay, so they are already activated. I don't have to make this step. Okay. If you have a problem in this step, يخرج error message like invalid setting detected when you try to activate USB controller. You just need to install a supplementary extension pack of VirtualBox تكون موجود في السايت متاع VirtualBox. اسمه VirtualBox Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack to enable USB وحتى الويب كام. حتى الويب كام تحب تستعملها في virtualized version virtualized environment. في بعض الأحيان لازمك تزيد هالباك هذايا، فهمت؟ لازمك تزيد الاكستنشن باك اوف VirtualBox. هو عمل الانستليشن نتاع الفيرتشوال الاكستنشن باك، لقى نو مور ايرورز، وبعد اوكي. I have no error here like you see. serial port network NAT audio undetected storage موجود، لقاه موجود. display مش مشكل. system معرفو. والجنرال okay. we have everything ready. Okay, now we put you run this machine. Okay, after making all the settings, review general system storage. Okay, we have this image file, network NAT, USB activated. Okay, we run this one. Okay, and the Kali Linux will be loaded. Okay, you have many options here. Live AMD you will just run Kali Linux without installing Kali Linux. Okay. فما live with USB persistence, live USB encrypted persistent. هذا كلها تبعين اللايف، خاطر انت عملت download of live version of the Kali Linux distribution. الأفضل نمشي نعمل graphical install. Okay. Because it will assist you. Okay. لاحظ هنا حتى هو يستعمل في graphical install. Okay. So we'll choose graphical install. Enter. We just wait for him to start to load. Okay, choose English, of course. English. Okay, no problem. United States, American English. Load and start for installation media. Load an additional component. Okay. Configure network, DHCP, etc. etc. باهي تعطيه اسم الهوست نيم. اوكي نخليها انا كالي، مش قضية يعني. Just let me change the display. It's better for my continue. The domain name is the part of your internet address to the right. Let it as it is. A user account will be created for you to use instead of the root account for non-administrative activity. Please enter the real name of this user. This information will be used for instance as default origin for email sent by this user, as well as any program which display or uses the user real name. Your full name is a reasonable choice. Okay, I will use my name. Select the username for the new account. Your first name is the username. Okay, same. A good password will contain a mixture of letter, number, and punctuation. For me, I will use a simple password and repeat it again. Okay, but use as he recommended, use a complex password for that. Okay, continue. Setting up the block. Okay. If the desired time zone is not listed, then please go back to the step, choose language and select the country. It's not a problem now. Continue. Yes, we will use the entire disk, okay, without partition. We have chosen as max 30 gigabit. Continue. Note that all the data on the disk you select will be erased, but not before you have confirmed that you really want to make the change. قلنا اعطيناه 30. Okay. The disk can be partitioned in one of the several different schema. If you are unsure, choose the first one. Okay, all file in one partition, and this is the recommended here in the lab also. All partition in one. You can choose anything you want. Use our entire disk and select continue. Okay, where's virtual machine? Continue. This is an overview of your currently configured partition and mount point. Select the partition to modify its setting file. Free space to create partition or a device to initialize its partition type. Guided partitioning, configure software read, and to change. Okay, he has created, لاحظوا, he has created a hard disk formatting style متاعو X4. كان تعرفوا الويندوز الفورماتين ستايل متاعو NTFS small memory FAT 32. بالنسبة للاينكس يستعمل في X4 الفايل سيستم متاعو. اوكي، ويستعمل في swap in case الرام memory does not suffice. يعني يستحقها الرام swap هذه to load a program if the RAM memory is full. okay. ديما موجودة هذه في when you try to install a Linux distribution مهما كانت، يعني مهما كان النوع متاعها، Linux كالي ولا Ubuntu ولا اللي هو. Okay, for me I will finish the partition and write disk and write the change that I have made، يعني الفورماتين هذايا وال creation of two disk، واحد primary واحد logical، and press continue. If you continue, the change listed below will be written to the disk. Yes, otherwise you will be able to make a further change manually. Okay, the following partition are going to be formatted. Yes, write the change to disk. Yes. Yes, right. Now he began to install the system. See, the installation began. It may take time, so I will pause the recording now. I come back to you. He has already copied all the file to the virtual disk. Now a new message say a network mirror can be used to implement the software that is included on the installation media. This may also make newer version of software available. Use a network mirror. Yes, we will use. Continue. If you need to use a HTTP proxy to access the outside world, enter the proxy information. In the college or in your home you are not using a HTTP proxy. Proxy هو نوع من الكاش that will like an intermediary between an internal network وال outside يعني الانترنت. Okay. We don't have HTTP, so click continue. The apt package is used to install يعني software في Linux. Just wait for him. 1 hour. I will come back to you after. Come back again. He finished apt package. Now he is going to install the grep bootloader. It's a utility software to boot. So it seems that this new installation is the only operating system on this computer. Yes, it is true. In this computer, not in this computer, in this virtual hard disk. Okay, because he doesn't detect any other hard disk or any other space than the allocated space that I have given to him. Okay, that's why he say that. If so, it should be safe to install the grep bootloader to your primary drive. If you partition bootloader record. Warning, if your computer has another operating system that the installer failed to detect, this will make that operating system temporarily unbootable, though grep can be manually configured later to boot it. هذا إذا أنتم تستعملوا في Linux يعني على physical machine معناها directly wanna boot it معناها على physical machine, but we are doing this على virtual machine, so no problem. Yes, you need to make the newly installed system bootable by installing the grep bootloader on a bootable device. The usual way to do this is to install grep to your primary drive. You may instead install grep to a different drive or partition or to a removable device. No, I will use the by default option. Continue. Let's see. هو باي ديفولت. الاس دي اي هو الباي ديفولت، يعني الهارد ديسك باي ديفولت اللي استعملته. وعندنا 1 هارد ديسك احنا في الفيرتوال disk that we have selected. Just we wait for finishing the installation. He is finishing the installation. Okay, installation is complete, so it's time to boot into your new system. Make sure to remove the installation media so that you boot into the new system rather than restarting the installation. صح. Continue. He will remove the package that he has used to make the installation. Remember that we have given it in the DVD, virtual DVD, the location of the file of the installation, so maybe you will remove that file to not install again. It's primordial, it's crucial to remove it, but we will wait to see that. Okay, he's booting now. Okay, let me maximize this. Change escape. If you have followed you have created a password. And installation complete. This is Kali. This is terminal. So you can start hacking. Okay. You have many software, pre-installed software here. You can start using it, but we will go step. So this is the installation of Kali. If you have finished it, سكروا الترمينال. هذا نشوف الconfiguration. You have a browser thing also. All application. Bluetooth adapted. We have a browser Chrome. Let's test Chrome. مثلا Kali attack example. Yes, it's working. So this is your Kali Linux. Okay, that's it. going back to the lab here. Okay, likewise install XPN 2003 on VirtualBox, show them to the instructor. Okay, you can install Kali as I did, and also you install XP. Just install XP because we will need it to make some attack scenario in other lab. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching the video. Control.